I'm David Grayson from the Doughty Centre for Corporate Responsibility here in the Cranfield School of Management. And today I'm interviewing Dr. Ruth Bender about her chapter in Cranfield on corporate sustainability. Ruth, you write about the importance of measuring and reporting a company's social and environmental and economic impacts, in other words, sustainability. Why should companies be bothering to measure and report on these soft issues?
That's a question we get asked a lot. I think there's two reasons. The first one is thinking about measuring and reporting. You do it for two reasons. You do it because you're accountable to the outside world, but you also do it because once you start measuring and reporting internally, you've got a handle on the business and you can improve the business. And if you're measuring and reporting performance, sustainability is just another aspect of performance. So if you're doing the hard numbers, there's no earthly reason not to report the sustainability issues that feed into them. So that's the first reason. It seems very obvious. And then the second reason is a more societal one, in that over the last couple of decades, society has taken more of an interest in the way our corporations run, and stakeholders have become much more interested, much more active, much more relevant, and people are now demanding accountability from organisations. And so the external reporting has taken on a broader focus because of that.
And in your experience, do you see that companies are effectively using their sustainability reporting for both of those purposes that you've just described? So are they using it as well, for example, for their engagement with their external stakeholders as they are for being a tool for continuous improvement, or vice versa?
I think it depends on the reason they're choosing to report. If you have an organisation that's chosen to report because everybody else is doing it and we'd better have a report, a sort of a greenwash, then no, they're not doing anything to change the organisation at all. But there's a continuum. You start off doing it, you get more into it. Once you start realising that in order to report these data, you actually have to start collecting them. And once you put in systems to collect the data, and you just see, it's not the complicated things, it's the basic things like how much energy you're using, how much the waste products are, how you're going to be affected once they start charging for carbon. Once you actually have those data, then companies are changing the way they operate because they suddenly realise, forget the external accountability, this is yet another way to save money. And at the moment, we need ways to save money.
And so what should any company be really thinking about in terms of their measurement and reporting of sustainability? What would be for you some of the really important points that they need to bear in mind?
I would go to the very basic questions you always ask. First of all, why are we reporting? You need to get your head around what you want out of this. And then to whom are we reporting? There's 500,000 organisations out there which will all argue they are stakeholders of yours in some way or another, and you can't possibly report enough information to satisfy every single person who wants to know everything. So concentrate on who is the key audience, who are the main stakeholders, and work out, okay, these are the people to whom we are reporting. And then think about what you're reporting. If you look at any of the 20-odd checklists for sustainability reporting, they all have very, very detailed levels of things about human rights or emissions or water use or any one of 20 different headings. And not all of those are relevant to all organisations. So what you do is, to start with, you work out what are the most important things to us. So, for example, if you're a mining company, then you're far more interested in, say, health and safety, or in some countries, AIDS in your workforce, than you are about recycling your paper. Perhaps in the university we ought to look more closely about recycling our paper.
Or indeed about our travel budget and how much air travel we do and so on. But yes, so where do you see some of the big trends in terms of measurement and reporting? What should somebody in the company secretary department or whoever's got the responsibility for pulling all of this data together, what are the key things that they should probably be looking out for, do you see, in terms of the trends?
The buzzword is integrated reporting, and that's really the holy grail of reporting. The idea that rather than have your financial report and your sustainability report, and each one of them weighing several pounds and covering several hundred pages, you have an integrated report which will cover the basics, the key things that anybody needs to understand to appreciate how your organisation has performed in its widest sense, and how the sustainability performance integrates into the financial performance and the impact you have on your environment in its widest sense. And when you're looking at integrated reporting, there are no standards as yet, but it's likely that by the end of 2013 there will be the very first. It won't be a standard, but it will be a pretty solid guideline of this is how to do it. They've already started. If you want a good example, in South Africa, the King 3, the Code on Corporate Governance, has mandated integrated reporting since 2010. So you can go and have a look and see how people are doing it. That's definitely a trend, and when you look at surveys that come out, people who are working in the field are saying, we're going to get to integrated reporting, but it's a long way away. The other thing that is happening at the moment is the main sustainability reporting standards, the Global Reporting Initiative, is now coming to its fourth iteration, G4, and as we speak, it's September 2012, and the consultation period on the exposure draft is just coming to an end. So we can expect to see more detailed standards coming out of the GRI probably next year, and that is GRI is quite good because it gives you a checklist, and a checklist is useful not to follow it slavishly, but to say, oh, okay, these are the things that people think I ought to be looking at. Let's have a look and see where it's going to take us.
So, as in any other aspect of sustainability, this is a very fast evolving field, which is why you need to be really keeping in touch with some of the latest thinking, latest developments.
Most definitely, I'm afraid.
Ruth, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.